discussing the LC oscillation. LC oscillation. So here we have described, suppose this is the case here. Like this, at t is equal to 0, suppose K1 is closed, then what will happen? This capacitor getting charged by the battery after steady state condition. This capacitor is fully charged, So here this is positive, negative. This sort of positive charge comes here on the left plate of the capacitor, and the negative charge comes on the right plate of the capacitor. After getting fully charged, after the steady state condition, this circuit is open because voltage of battery and voltage of capacitor both are equal. So the resultant voltage is 0. It means no further current can flow. It means this is open, or intensely we have opened the K1 switch key, or you can say battery is removed. Battery is now removed, and close the key K2 at t is equal to 0. Suppose now K2 is closed and K1 open. So what will happen here? Now this capacitor will behave like a battery, because this left plate is positive, right plate is negative. So what will happen? A current flows clockwise in the circuit like this. And this inductor is getting charged here. In the capacitor, energy stored fully in the capacitor, electrical energy, it was maximum, and across the inductor in magnetic field, energy stored is 0. It is max 0, it is the maximum, it is 0. As we have closed the key K2, what will happen here? Current starts flowing, and the energy is transferring from capacitor to the inductor, means from electrical field to magnetic field. At t is equal to, say, this is one cycle, it is t is equal to 0, and this is full cycle, half cycle, quarter, 3/4. So at this stage, maximum energy in the capacitor, and we have already described here, the energy stored is this. This is the energy stored in capacitor in the form of electrical field, and this is the energy here we have described here. This is the energy in magnetic field, that is half Li square. So at t is equal to 0, this is maximum. Right, draw this. Like at t is equal to 0, this is maximum and this is 0. this energy transferring to this. So this energy, electrical energy, is what? Getting reduced here. At T is equal to T by 2, what will happen? It is 0, decreasing that, and this is energy increasing maximum. At T is equal to T by 2 means here at this point, again this is maximum, it is 0, but this capacitor is getting charged oppositely. This is the peak point here. So this energy in the inductor maximum, and it is 0, now getting the charge by the current. And this is the positive plate here, right positive plate, and left positive plate is negative. So you can say this capacitor is oppositely charged. Oppositely charged. Now the direction of current is reverse here, because this is positive, so direction of current is reverse. Now at T is equal to this 3T by 4, it is 0, it is again maximum, it is 0, and this is maximum. And at T is equal to T, this is maximum, and it is 0. But again this is positive, this is negative. So this way energy is transferred from capacitor to inductor, from electrical field to magnetic field, and magnetic field to electrical field. This way energy is oscillating from electrical field to magnetic field, from magnetic field to electrical field. And suppose this is the ideal condition, in that case what will happen? There is no loss of energy. There is no loss of energy. Suppose the ideal condition means what? Ideal case, there is no resistance. Resistance is 0, and we know there is no loss of energy in inductor as well as in capacitor. So energy transferring, there is no loss. So we can say energy versus time graph. It is like this. Here energy transferring from one field to other field, from other field to one field, electrical to magnetic field, magnetic to electrical field, and there is no loss. So we can say there is no loss in the energy with time. It is called undamped oscillation. It is the undamped oscillation. If suppose resistance is non-zero, it means some energy in each and every cycle is getting some energy is lost in each and every cycle. After few cycles, total energy is lost. So this is called the time energy. It is like this. This is the, you can say it is damped oscillation. This one is called damped oscillation. If resistance is very high, it means this energy is lost quickly, because it is highly damped oscillation. It depends on the resistance in the circuit. If it is the ideal case, there is no loss of energy. It is called undamped oscillation. So we were discussing the LC oscillations. In our LC oscillations, energy is transferring from one field to other field, and from other field to one field. Electrical to magnetic field to electrical field. And this is the cycle. 0 to capital T, one cycle. This is the energy, maximum to minimum, minimum to maximum, like. It is called LC oscillations. In capacitance, energy stored in the capacitor. This is the formula we have derived yesterday. It is Q square by 2C, and magnetic field 1 by 2 Li square. Okay. Got this? Here, can anybody tell what is the difference between the damped oscillations and undamped oscillations? Yes, anybody? What is the difference between the damped oscillations and undamped oscillations? Only resistance is there. If resistance is there, then this energy is lost in due course of time, in few cycles. If there is no resistance, there is no loss, because in ideal inductor and ideal capacitor, there is no loss of energy. There is no loss of energy. It means it is called undamped oscillations, and this cycle is repeated. It means in LC oscillation, the idea here is energy is oscillating from one field to other field and from other field to one field, electrical to magnetic, magnetic to electrical. Okay? Any question? You got it, the LC oscillation? And some part of this LC oscillation means the derivation of this capacitor, energy in capacitor and inductor, derived yesterday. Any question? Yes, please. So we move to another case, another topic here, that is the resonance in series RLC circuit. We have seen the resonance circuit in series RLC, and now we are discussing the parallel RLC. Side by side we discuss both and compare and take the utility of the LC resonance circuit, series and parallel. What is the application here? Why we are using both parallel circuit as well as series circuit, RLC. Should I rub this? Have you noted down? Should I rub it? This RLC series circuit, the current in all that is same because of series circuit. Now parallel resonance. In parallel, I discuss here these two in parallel. The AC source is equal to V naught sin omega t. Here also E naught sin omega t. VL VC, this is VR I naught. In resonance, VL is equal to VC. It gives you XL is equal to XC. At resonant frequency, if you equate this to omega L is equal to 1 by omega C, and we are getting this. It is called resonant frequency. At resonant frequency, we are getting the graph like this. Some sort of graph between the current with the frequency. At resonant frequency, we are getting the maximum current. We have discussed this case. At resonance, we are getting the maximum current. It means, suppose at resonance, we are getting the maximum current, and that particular frequency which is resonating with the line frequency or incoming frequency with the device, maybe mobile phone, maybe say net, maybe say you can say TV or whatever it is, radio. In all the cases, current is maximum at resonance, and particular one frequency is resonating. So other frequencies, although coming from the same cable, but if current is less, current is maximum for this particular frequency, so this particular frequency will work. It means suppose from the cable we are getting 200 more plus channels, but for particular channel and this particular frequency is resonating with that frequency, incoming frequency, so for that channel it is visible or audible, while other frequencies are available but we cannot hear it, we cannot see it. So it is called the selector circuit. By tuning the circuit, tuning means we are changing the L or C. Practically we are changing capacitance because variation in the capacitance is very easy, and by varying the capacitance we get the resonant frequency. At particular frequency, current is maximum to the particular channel or maybe mobile phone, the particular frequency receiving by your mobile phone only. Although this signal is coming in the space and millions of billions of signals are there, billions of. Out of that, only one signal is coming to your mobile, and that signal is not going to other mobiles or other channels. This way we can select the particular frequency. So series RLC circuit is also called selector circuit. Got this point? Series RLC circuit is also called selector circuit. By this discussion we can say with any device we can tune the particular frequency with your mobile set, TV set, any audio video set, wireless set. So this signal is coming and this is having the more current in comparison to others. So it is visible, audible. Now just reverse case. This is L and this is C. Suppose the current is coming here I, that is the current in series. And it will definitely divide into two, IL and IC. As we know, current is lagging behind the voltage by 90 degree in case of pure inductance. In capacitance, current is leading by 90 degree in case of capacitance pure. So you can say these two are out of phase. These two are out of phase. In that case, we are getting the resonance, but in this resonance, here Z is equal to impedance is equal to what? R. In this case, what is Z here? Let us discuss this Z. Z is equal to what? R square plus XL minus XC whole square under root. But it is reciprocal. In parallel circuit, it is reciprocal. It is admittance, reciprocal of resistance, admittance and reactance also. So here we are getting the resonance, but at resonance, again XL XC equal, it will give you the same frequency, but at this frequency, what will happen? This IL and IC are equal and opposite in phase, so net current will become 0, because in this case IL and IC are also equal, voltage are equal, but at resonance only this IL IC are equal and opposite, so net current becomes 0. It means if net current is 0, in this parallel circuit we are getting the graph like this. At a particular frequency, that is called resonant frequency, this current becomes 0. It means here, if we select the frequency in parallel resonance, in that case, this current will become 0, and the particular signal after tuning, this current becomes 0, so we cannot see it, we cannot hear it, we cannot listen it. Audio video signal although coming to your mobile set, TV set, audio video set, but we cannot listen, this is not audible, this is not visible, although the signal is coming to your this set, audio video set. It means here we can very well reject it. So it is called rejector circuit. What do you mean by the rejector circuit? Suppose one say small kid that is very and is interested to see the any video which is not desirable, like say cartoon movie, or in mobile some person is teaching you, so that particular frequency can be rejected using the parallel resonance circuit. So even he or she is making a phone call, but you are not receiving it. It means here by using the series RLC circuit, we can select the particular signal. For this current is maximum, you can hear it, listen it, see it. But just opposite to this series, in parallel, we can reject that particular phone call or any TV say signal is coming to your TV through the cable 200 more channel, but particular signal can be stopped. Got this point? So these are the two basic difference between the resonance circuit in series and in parallel. Here we are selecting the particular frequency, here we are rejecting the particular frequency. Got this point? Any question? Can you tell me what is the use of this series RLC circuit and what is the use of this parallel RLC circuit at resonance only? Yes, anybody can tell what is the difference between? I have already discussed this in AC. In AC, suppose if pure inductor or pure capacitor, we know what the power average in one cycle in both the cases, but the power average is 0. We have derived in both the cases. Question is, L and C must be ideal. Why there is no power? Because we know the voltage and the current, the phase difference is 90 degree. Phase difference is 90 degree. It means suppose this is say Vn and this is I, or in this case this is I and this is say Vc. Because of the phase difference here 90 degree, and what is the power average, say ERMS, IRMS and cos phi. Because of cos 90, what is the power? 0. So here the meaning of wattless current is there but is not carrying any power, or in other words we can say in one cycle average power is 0. Got this point? So in any circuit, suppose this is the current I0 and suppose this is the voltage. If you resolve it in this I0 cos phi, and here suppose this is phi between the voltage and current phi, and this particular current and the voltage, suppose these two are what? Perpendicular. So any perpendicular current with voltage, it will give you 0 power. It is called wattless. This particular current is called wattless current. So whenever the particular current, or after resolving the current perpendicular, in parallel we are getting the power, in perpendicular we are not getting the power. It means the current perpendicular to the voltage in AC, it will give you 0 power, wattless, powerless current. So wattless current means it is giving you no power. After resolution, current can be resolved in two parts, parallel and perpendicular. So perpendicular current to the voltage, it will give you 0 power, wattless current. So wattless current means the current having no power, 0 power, average power in 0 in one cycle. It is true in case of pure inductance, it is true in case of pure capacitance, it is true for any RLC circuit. Got this point? I'm taking the phasor diagram here. Suppose this is the case here, I naught, and this is E naught here. You can resolve in this direction and perpendicular to this. You can resolve this here and here. So this particular current will give you power, and this particular current will not give you any power. So it is called wattless current and powerless current. Got this point? So wattless current means in each and every cycle, because this resolved component, wattless current, is perpendicular to the voltage, power will be 0. Okay? Power will be 0. This is called wattless current. So wattless current means the name is suggesting here wattless, powerless current. Okay? Powerless current. In short, because time is very less, so I'll tell you the difference between AC and DC. Which is dangerous, AC and DC. I'm telling you one by one the advantages of AC and advantage of DC. Advantage of AC over DC and advantage of DC over AC, because both are required. AC is also useful, DC sometimes is also useful. So just write down the usage or say advantages of AC over DC. Advantages of AC over DC. We know AC can be generated easily. Because in DC reactions are going on, chemical reactions are going on, it will take a lot of time here and it is costly also. We can generate in the magnetic field, this armature is rotated with very large speed and AC can be generated very easily. It is cheaper also, very cheap in comparison to DC. Here the RMS value suffered 220 volt DC, 220 volt DC, but 220 volt DC RMS, it will give you the maximum value here 220 root 2, means some sort of it is coming here 310 something, more than 300. We just multiply here more than 300, means the maximum voltage in AC is more than DC, although the RMS value and the DC voltage both are same. So in terms of peak voltage, dangerous. In some way, some sense, DC is also dangerous. But peak value is here for same voltage, peak value is more than the DC voltage. Okay? Then 4, it can be easily transformed. It can be transferred from one place to another place. So transmission cost is very, very less. We have discussed here that particular numericals by increasing the voltage. Yes, can you recall? By increasing the voltage, we can transport the energy, the electrical power from one place to another place without much loss at very high voltage. We have discussed this question yesterday very thoroughly. Both the cases, less voltage 4,000 and 40,000 and 4 lakhs also. Like so, if voltage increases, transmission cost reduces to very low level. So here it can be transmitted easily. It can be transmitted easily. In 3-phase also, there is no like say DC, there is no phase. Say here in 3-phase, we can use single phase also, we can use 2-phase also, we can use 3-phase also. In single phase, in our household, single phase supply is coming. And normally, this floor wheel, the atta chakki jo, that is two-phase motor and 3-phase motor also, that is cheaper also. इसके घर में 3-4 AC हैं, उनके घर में 3-phase meter लगाते हैं. That is cheaper also. And it is very easy advantageous to the generating stations also, distribution center also, because phase load is distributed instead of single phase to 3-phase. So it is very good here. There is nothing like this facility is not available in DC. but we cannot ignore DC also. Why? Because we can charge the mobile by DC. We can charge the mobile by DC. Although it can be rectified to DC easily. That is very good advantage here. AC can be converted to DC easily by using the rectifier. This is also very good application here. AC can be converted into DC easily. And electroplating here can be done by DC. Dissociation is by DC only. It cannot be by AC. Electroplating cannot be done by AC. And one more thing here, DC motors is also robust. Robust is also AC motor is also robust, but in DC, speed can be controlled. Speed can be controlled easily. Can be controlled easily and very accurately also. I am taking the example here, in 1 minute only. I am taking the example here. In DC AC, suppose we are regulating by the regulator of the fan. Simple example. We are changing the speed, but not very accurately. Only 4-5 steps are there. Although by the electronic regulator we can speed it in a better way, but suppose we are talking about the train here. In train, DC motor is there. DC motor is say generating the very large torque. Very large torque. Torque means it can pull the train easily. Very heavy train can be pulled easily. So torque is very high and speed can be controlled. The same train can acquire the speed of up to say 400-500 km per hour. In India, say roughly 130-140 km per hour. It can be say 0.1 km per hour or even less. 1 say meter per second. It can just move like this, and speed can be controlled easily. And braking also there by using the eddy current, so we can speed up and can be braked also easily in case of DC. So we cannot ignore DC. I have told you many advantages of DC and many advantages of AC. So AC cannot be replaced by DC and DC cannot be replaced by AC. But very fortunately, we can convert AC to DC easily. DC to AC also can be converted, but a difficult process.